Hello everyone, this is Mallikarjun of Triple Department from St. Peter's Engineering College. In this video, we are going to discuss about a single phase induction type energy meter. A single phase induction type energy meter. In general, the main purpose of energy meter is to measure the electrical energy. So, in order to measure the electrical energy, we are using energy meters, and this energy meter will measure the electrical energy in kilowatt hours. In kilowatt hours, measures electrical energy in kilowatt hours. And these energy meters are generally used for both domestic and also industrial applications. Domestic and also industrial applications. And the cost of this energy meter is quite less when compared with the other meters which are used to measure the value of power. Less expensive and more accurate. So this is regarding the energy meter. Energy meter is a device which is used to measure the electrical energy in terms of kilowatt hours, and can be used for both domestic as well as industrial applications. When compared with the other meters, the energy meter is very less expensive and it will give the more accurate readings of energy measured. There are different types of energy meter depending upon the connection. There is a single phase energy meter and three phase energy meter. Now in this class we are going to discuss about a single phase induction type energy meter. And why I am calling this energy meter as an induction type energy meter is that it works on the principle of an induction. So in this video we are discussing about what? Single phase induction type energy meter. Single phase induction type energy meter. Now we will go with the constructional details of a single phase energy meter. It may be a single phase energy meter or three phase energy meter. It consists of two magnets. The first magnet is considered as a series magnet. And the second magnet is considered as a shunt magnet. A shunt magnet. Now I am showing the constructional view of a series magnet and shunt magnet which are placed in case of a single phase energy meter. Now depending upon the connection given to that magnets, one magnet will behave as a series magnet and other magnet will behave as a shunt magnet. Suppose I am giving an AC supply terminals like this. Let us take a single phase AC supply. Single phase AC supply is nothing but which consists of a phase wire and a neutral wire. Depending upon the connection of a phase and neutral to these magnets, I can say that one magnet will behave as a series magnet and the other magnet will behave as a shunt magnet. Now I am going to impose some amount of windings on both the magnets. So these are the windings which are imposed on both the magnets. Here the winding is imposed on the middle limb, and here the winding in this magnet is imposed on the both the limbs which are present at the corner. Now I am giving the supply to this winding, and similarly now I am going to give the supply to this. Now depending upon the supply given, the magnet which is carrying some amount of current, the magnet which is carrying some amount of load current through it is called as a series magnet. Due to that reason, this magnet is called as a series magnet and this magnet is called as a shunt magnet. So shunt magnet is the one which carries the current proportional to the supply voltage, which carries the current proportional to the supply voltage. Why I am saying that current proportional to the supply voltage in case of a shunt magnet is that the winding of this shunt magnet is connected across the supply voltage. Is connected across the supply voltage. Due to that reason, the current flowing in this shunt magnet will be always proportional to the supply voltage. Will be always proportional to the supply voltage. Hence, this coil is also called as a pressure coil. Hence, this coil is also called as a pressure coil, and series magnet is also called as what? Current coil. And series magnet is also called as what? Current coil. Now I am going to draw the another representation. I am using an aluminium disc here. Aluminium disc. The aluminium disc is placed in between the two magnets. The aluminium disc is placed in between the two magnets with the help of a spindle. With the help of a spindle. Spindle is nothing but a rod. Spindle is nothing but a rod. And I am providing a supporter to the spindle in order to withstand the rod. In order to withstand the rod. And I am using one more magnet at the end of an aluminium disc, which is called as a braking magnet. Which is called as a braking magnet. So, in order to read the electrical energy consumed by this energy meter, I am using a recording mechanism with the help of a pointer. I am using the recording mechanism which consists of a pointer to read the readings which is given by the energy meter. This is the constructional diagram of an energy meter which consists of a series magnet, shunt magnet, and the windings provided on that magnet, a aluminium disc, a braking magnet, and a recording mechanism. I am giving the supply at this side, and the load is connected on the other side. This is the constructional diagram of an energy meter which consists of series magnet, shunt magnet, or they can also be called as what? Current coil, pressure coil, along with aluminium disc, spindle, braking magnet, and a pointer which is attached to the recording mechanism. These are the different constructional parts. So, if I want to know the working of a single phase induction type energy meter, there are four mechanisms. That is, in order to know the working of a single phase induction type energy meter, I need to learn about the four mechanisms in a brief manner. The first one is driving system. The second one is moving system. The third one is braking system. And the fourth one is registering mechanism. Or else it can also be called as counter mechanism. So, in order to know the working of a single phase induction type energy meter, I need to know about these four types of systems in brief. The first one is driving system, second one is moving system, third one is braking system, and the fourth one is what? Registering system, or else it can also be called as what? Counter mechanism. First we will go in detail about the driving system. The driving system mainly consists of two electromagnets. The driving system mainly consists of two electromagnets which are known as what? Series magnet, which are known as what? Series magnet and shunt magnet. Series magnet and shunt magnet. Driving system mainly consists of two electromagnets which are known as what? Series magnet and shunt magnet, and the core of these magnets is made up of core of these magnets is made up of core of the magnet is made up of silicon steel laminations. Core of the magnet is made up of what? Silicon steel laminations. Silicon steel laminations. The series electromagnet is excited by the load current. The series electromagnet is excited by the load current. Hence, the series electromagnet is also called as what? Current coil. The series electromagnet is also called as what? Current coil. As series electromagnet is excited by the load current which is flowing through it. As series electromagnet is excited by the load current which is flowing through it, the series magnet is also called as what? Current coil. The series magnet is also called as what? Current coil. Now coming to the shunt magnet. As the shunt magnet is connected across the supply voltage, the current flowing in the shunt magnet will be always proportional to the supply voltage. Hence, the shunt magnet is also called as pressure coil. Pressure coil. This is regarding what? Driving system. In case of a construction of single phase induction type energy meter, where the driving system consists of how many magnets? Two magnets, which are called as series magnet and shunt magnet, where the core of the magnet is made up of what? Silicon steel laminations. As series magnet is excited by the load current which is flowing through it, it is also called as a current coil. As the current flowing in the shunt magnet is proportional to the supply voltage, the shunt magnet is also called as what? Pressure coil. Pressure coil. Now we will go with the continuation of driving mechanism. The middle limb which is present in case of a shunt magnet consists of a copper bands which are rectangular in shape. These copper bands can also be called as a shading bands. And this can be adjustable. Where the copper bands are placed? The copper bands are placed on the middle limb of a shunt magnet, which can be adjustable, which can be moved from one point to another in that particular limb. The main function of placing a copper bands is that to align the flux produced by the shunt magnet perpendicular to the supply voltage. What is the main function of copper bands or shading bands? The main function of copper bands is to align the flux produced by the shunt magnet. Exactly perpendicular perpendicular to the supplied voltage. Exactly perpendicular to the supplied voltage. So in order to maintain the flux, exactly perpendicular to the supply voltage, we are using copper bands in case of a shunt magnet. And these copper bands are adjustable. Now we will move to the another system. What is the next system we have? Moving system. And the next one is moving system. This system mainly consists of an aluminum disc. Which is mounted on the shaft of a spindle. The moving system mainly consists of what? It mainly consists of an aluminum disc. Which is mounted on a shaft of a spindle. This is nothing but an aluminum disc. And this is called as spindle. So the moving system mainly consists of an aluminum disc which is mounted on a shaft of a spindle. And this aluminum disc is located between both shunt magnet and series magnets. The aluminum disc is located between what? Between shunt magnets and series magnets. As the disc is located between both the electromagnets, it produces two fluxes. As disc is located between two coils, the aluminum disc will produce two fluxes with respect to what? Series magnet and shunt magnet. Let the flux produced by the series magnet be phi1 and the flux produced by the shunt magnet be phi2. The flux which is produced by the aluminum disc, will also produce the circulating currents. Which are called as what? Eddy currents. So due to the interaction of the flux and also the eddy currents, we are going to produce deflection torque. Or else it can also be called as a driving torque. Now coming to the importance of moving system. The moving system consists of an aluminum disc. Which is mounted on the shaft of a spindle. As the disc is located between the two magnets, it produces two fluxes. That is, flux produced by the series magnet and flux produced by the shunt magnet, along with the circulating currents. So this extra unwanted circulating can also be called as what? Eddy currents. So due to the interaction of the flux produced by the aluminum disc and eddy currents, we are going to have a driving torque, or else it can also be called as what? Deflection torque. So due to the production of a deflection torque, the aluminum disc will start rotating. will start rotating. The aluminum disc will start rotating, and the number of rotations made by the disc is counted at particular interval of time. And the number of rotations made by the disc is counted at particular interval of time by using recording mechanism. That is, with the help of a driving torque or deflection torque, and the aluminum disc will start rotate. The aluminum disc will start rotating, and the number of rotations made by the disc is counted at a particular interval of time by using what? Recording mechanism. Now we will move to the next system. That is braking system. The braking system. The braking system mainly consists of a permanent magnet. Which is called as a braking magnet, which can also be called as what? Braking magnet, which is shown in the figure. The braking system consists of a permanent magnet, which is called as what? Braking magnet, which is placed near the edge of a disc. As shown in the diagram. The braking system mainly consists of what? A braking magnet. And how it should be placed? It should be placed always near to the edge of a disc. It should be placed near to the edge of a disc. And it is adjustable. That is, I can have a movement of braking magnet. Now coming to the next point. As the aluminum disc is placed near the braking magnet. Braking magnet which is rotating, it produces braking torque. You see here in the diagram, the aluminum disc is making the number of rotations with the help of a moving system. As the aluminum disc is moving in the magnetic field of a braking magnet, it produces braking torque. That is, the deflection torque or driving torque is produced by what? Moving system, and the braking torque is produced by what? Permanent magnet, which is also called as what? Braking magnet in case of an energy meter. And the main function of braking magnet is that it controls the speed of your disc. And also provides damping. So controlling mechanism and damping mechanism can be achieved by a braking magnet in case of a single phase induction type energy meter. So driving torque or deflection torque in an energy meter is produced by using moving system which consists of an aluminum disc, and the braking torque or the damping or to control the speed of a disc and using a braking system which produces braking torque. Now we move to the next type of system which is called as resistering system or counter mechanism. Which is called as resistering system or counter mechanism. Which is called as resistering system or counter mechanism. The main function of counting mechanism is to record the number of rotations made by the disc. That is, whenever the device consumes some amount of power, whenever this energy meter consumes some amount of power, the aluminum disc will start rotating. In order to count the number of rotations made by the disc, I am using resistering mechanism or counting mechanism, which is used to count the number of rotations made by the disc. Coming to the next point, the rotation of a disc. The rotation of disc is transmitted to the pointer. In order to read the different readings. In order to read or record the different readings in case of a registering mechanism. The number of rotations made by the disc is transmitted to the pointer which is connected to the spindle. In order to record what? Different readings. So we have given the definition of energy meter that it is used to measure the electrical energy in terms of kilowatt hour. But by using the number of rotations made by the disc, I can't get the electrical energy consumed in kilowatt hour. If I want to read the electrical energy in kilowatt hour, the number of rotations should be multiplied with the meter constant. In order to get the reading in kilowatt hour, I need to take the product of number of rotations made by the disc into meter constant. So I will get the reading of 1 kilowatt hour. This is regarding registering mechanism. The main function of registering mechanism is to record what? Number of rotations made by the disc. In order to get the reading in case of kilowatt hour in this registering mechanism, I need to take the product of number of rotations made by the disc with the meter constant. This is regarding the constructional details and also the working of a single phase induction type energy meter. Now we will see the working of a single phase induction meter in this diagram itself. I am giving a supply current or load current directly to the series magnet. Hence this magnet is also called as what? Current coil. As the shunt magnet is connected across the supply voltage, this magnet is also called as a pressure coil. As the aluminum disc is placed between the two magnets, it produces two fluxes with respect to the series magnet and shunt magnet along with the eddy currents. Due to the interaction of flux produced by the two magnets and also the eddy currents, we are going to have a driving torque or deflection torque. So due to the interaction of flux, due to the interaction of flux and eddy currents, we are going to have what? Driving torque. We are going to produce what? Driving torque, which can be expressed as TD, which can be expressed or represented by what? TD. And the expression for TD is given as, TD is directly proportional to V into I into cos phi, where V is the voltage, I is the current and phi is the angle maintained between the voltage and currents. So this is the expression for driving torque, which is obtained due to the interaction of flux and also the eddy current. If I want to remove the proportionality, the expression for TD is given as what? K into V into I into cos phi. K into V into I into cos phi. Let me represent this equation as equation number 1. And one more torque is produced with the help of a braking magnet, which is present in case of a construction of a single phase energy meter. As the aluminum disc which is making number of rotations is placed in the magnetic field of braking magnet. As the aluminum disc which is making number of rotations is placed in the magnetic field of a braking magnet, it produces braking torque. Let the braking torque is represented by what? TB. And the braking torque is mainly due to what? Number of rotations. Hence, the braking torque will be directly proportional to N, where N indicates the number of rotations made by the disc. If I want to remove the proportionality, TB will be equal to K into N. Let me say that this is the expression for braking torque and it is given by equation number 2. So the expression for deflection torque or driving torque in case of a single phase energy meter is produced due to interaction of flux and eddy currents, which is expressed as TD equal to K into V into I into cos phi. And the braking torque is mainly produced due to the rotation of aluminum disc in the magnetic field of braking magnet. Which is given as TD equal to K into N. At steady state condition, that is at an equilibrium point, or else at steady state condition, driving torque produced will be equal to braking torque. Now substitute equations 1 and 2 in this expression. K into V into I into cos phi will be equal to K into N. Okay, what is the final expression we will get? N equal to V into I into cos phi. V into I into cos phi is nothing but what? Three-phase power, which can be indicated as what? P. It is called as three-phase power. N is directly proportional to P from the expressions of braking torque and driving torque. That is, the number of revolutions or rotations made by the disc is proportional to the electrical energy consumed. From the given expression, I can have a conclusion or an observation that the total number of revolutions or rotations made by the disc is proportional to the electrical energy consumed. These are the expressions for driving torque, braking torque, and also the expression for both the torques at a steady state condition, which is given as TD equal to TB. From that, I can observe that the total number of revolutions or rotations made by by the disk is proportional to what? Electrical energy consumed. Electrical energy consumed. This is regarding the construction, working and expression for different tasks in case of a single phase induction type energy meter. Single phase induction type energy meter.